with a special guest. Our guest this afternoon is a former restaurant executive, CEO, and global business leader. He has a new memoir out called Who's on Fries, a deep dive into his personal journey from working in the fry station to becoming an executive, also exploring the highs and the lows in his personal life, also in his career. And he will be in Charlotte this Friday at WorthWealthCon at Johnson C. Smith University. Again, that's WorthWealthCon at Johnson C. Smith University, a day designed to equip not only the students, but this is important, the community, with tools and strategies and connections needed to build generational wealth. Here on the program, again, I said this is a special guest. This is Darryl Webb Sr. Thank you for joining us, sir.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. I want to start with this one because I read this quote. I did a deep dive. Here's the quote. Quote, whether you're at a fry station behind a desk, leading a team, or rebuilding after a fall, your leadership style is already unfolding. You don't need a title, a corner office, a degree, or a platform. You need willingness, humility, dedication, discipline, vision, and faith. That's a powerful quote right there.
Yeah, and quite honestly, there's a tremendous amount of life experience that goes into that quote. "Who's on Fries" is the subtitle of that is my journey from fry cook to the C-suite. And I wrote the book primarily because I often shared my story and my journey with people kind of all over the country through my ministry and a lot of groups and activities that I was involved in. And so oftentimes people said, "Webb, where can I get your book?" And I said, "I don't have a book, but if I ever wrote a book, I know what the title would be, and the title would be Who's on Fries." And Who's on Fries is really about the foundation of my life, starting as a growing up poor and didn't know it in North St. Louis in the '60s, getting my first job at Burger King, and my first position was on the fry station. And so the book Codes on Fries really shares my journey. And it is a journey that is really designed to be able to encourage and inspire people that says it doesn't matter where you start. What matters is how you move along the journey, and that anything is possible through faith, family, and resilience. And so that's really what the story is really all about.
You have an incredible journey that honestly that journey is still being written right now.
Yeah.
And what stuck out to me is like, I mean, reaching the highs of the highs. I mean, meeting Nelson Mandela and working with Nelson Mandela, right? And then, branching off to be an entrepreneur, that not working out, filing for bankruptcy, and then rebuilding your life, right? When did you get to a point where you said, hey, I want to write this down. I want to make this into a book?
Well, quite honestly, I started writing the book and putting the words of the book on pages probably a little over a year ago. Um, as I shared before, someone said, "Hey, where can I get your book?" And I said, nobody really is interested in a book on a poor kid from North St. Louis that started on fries and, just lived a everyday life. And the more I shared about my story and my journey, people said, "Well, people need to hear your story." And so uh, it was really powerful because when I decided to write the book, I had the title, as I said, kind of in my heart, and I say in my spirit, for probably about 15 years. But when I began to write it and began to reflect on my life and growing up and having family as the center of my life, and though we didn't have a lot of personal possessions, we had a very, very close, both nuclear family and extended family. We were grounded in faith and brought up in the Pentecostal church. I got my first job working at a Burger King, and then eventually moved over to McDonald's, and I worked for McDonald's for nearly 24 years. My wife and I got married when she was 18 and I was 19, and here we are, young kids. I'm working in a QSR industry that started out as a job, but eventually grew into becoming a career, and we just experience life. And I often say that for all of us, life is happening, right? You know, the old saying, sometimes life just be lifing, right? And when life is lifing, we experience different things. And I thought it was important to be able to share with people both the highs and the lows, because I said to somebody the other day that too often today, people want success to be taking the fast elevator to the top floor. But oftentimes, success is taking the stairways, right? And the stairs can often be a winding journey. And sometimes you actually get knocked down. And when you get knocked down, Who's on Fries talks about how do you get back up again, right? And so it's not just about faith and family, but I talk about failure, and I talk about favor, and I talk about when God's hand is on your life and you're rooted and grounded in those strong principles, that you can get up and you can keep going. And I felt it was really important to be able to share my journey with young people today, to say anything can be accomplished when you keep God at the center, and you keep pressing no matter what.
How do you get that message to relate to a younger generation, right? Because again, you're going to be at JCSU WorthWealthCon that's happening this Friday at JCSU. This is a great opportunity to share your story, but how do you make that story resonate, right? In a times are different, right? A lot of people don't want to, just being frank, a lot of people don't want to take the stairs, right? They
Right.
want to take the elevator, and not just the regular elevator that slowly moves you up. They want to take that fast elevator that shoots
They
all the
want to
way up
take the
really, really
express.
quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I was so honored to be asked to come to the session this week in Charlotte, WealthCon, because I do believe that we're going to be able to share a diversity of messages with people. And people come from all different walks of life. People start at all different places. People have successes, they have failures, and but most importantly, what I want people to understand is that life is a journey, and it's a journey that has ups and downs. It has real life, right? I talk about the high of my life of being asked by McDonald's Corporation to go to South Africa, and we share that journey in the book. And getting the call from Nelson Mandela and asking me to come and join him on a trip to the rural area, which was his hometown of Mtata, in Africa, in South Africa, and building schools and clinics and helping to do tremendous amount of good. And then when I came back to the States, life happened, and I actually ended up owning my own business. And then through circumstances, which I really talk about in Who's on Fries, I lost everything. Right. And sometimes, you have to understand that when loss happens, and it does, how can I inspire people to say, keep going? Right? Get up, dust yourself off, and keep going, but always keep what the main plan that you had in front of you. Always say, keep the main thing the main thing. And when you do that, and you're not allowing life circumstances to deter you. I share a story that is a real life practical example of navigating corporate America. I share real life story of owning a business. I share real life stories of getting knocked down and getting back up. But I also end up talking about how I acquired my first 5 McDonald's restaurants here in Little Rock, Arkansas. And then after about 5 years, I sold them. And people say, Webb, you're crazy. You got McDonald's. Why would you sell them? Because I had a bigger goal in mind. And I share with people that when you set the goal, and you're clear on that, and you've got the support of faith and family, anything can be accomplished. And for me, the journey is continuing.
I wanna circle back to something you just said. You talk about, hey, I reached the highest of highs and I was knocked down, right? And there are a lot of people, and I'm pretty sure they'll be there. There are students, there are community members that will be at this event on Friday. That, man, life has knocked them down, right? And they are tired, right? They're emotionally tired, they're spiritually tired, they are tired, they're tapped out,
Mhm.
and they're here at this event to get something, right, to keep going. How do they keep going?
Well, I think the way you keep going is that you always have a plan, right? When one door closes, it doesn't mean that life is over. I share in the book one of my quotes that I use, and that is failure is not fatal because failure is not final, right? So when COVID hit, and I was working for Golden Corral, and we closed 495 restaurants on one day. And I relinquished my position as chief operating officer. I still had a goal, right? I did not let that stop me. I pivoted. Okay. And sometimes what that pause is really an opportunity to pivot. And I focused on what my ultimate long term goal was, which was to be a multi unit, multi branded franchisee and business owner. And I took that opportunity to say, one door closed, but it didn't deter me from my goal. And that's really kind of the message that I really want to share with folks. And that is sometimes you have to pivot, but never lose sight of the goal. One of the things that I share in Who's on Fries, and it's really the very last chapter, and I call it 9 leadership lessons from the Fry Station, because life has taught me critically important leadership skills, and being able to apply those leadership skills, which I learned are transferable across whatever business, whatever industry, whatever area of focus. And we share those 9 leadership lessons from the Fry Station. And it's really something that I believe will really inspire people.
Oh man, there are a lot of people looking forward to that. Darryl Webb Sr., man, thank you so much for joining the program. This is powerful stuff. Again, WorthWealthCon at Johnson C. Smith University this Friday. You don't want to miss it. This guy right there on your screen, Darryl Webb Sr., he'll be there. You don't want to miss him. Sir, thank you for
Looking
your
forward
time.
to it. All right, my pleasure. Come join me. And if you can't join me, go to who'sonfries.com and pick up a copy of the book. I promise you it will transform your life.
Thank you for your time. Again, Darryl Webb Sr., man, powerful stuff there. Thank you.
Pleasure.
All right, let's head to break. We'll be back here in just 2 minutes here on Live Impact News on